All right, so the Flyers have another waiver pickup for this season. They pick up defenseman Kevin Connauton, who's bounced around the league a good amount. He's had a lot of NHL games, 334 in total, and played the last two seasons with Florida. Had a couple years there with the Avs, a couple at Arizona, Columbus, Dallas as well. So Connauton is your typical bigger defenseman who can he's just more on that defensive side. He can move the puck. He's got a big enough body where he's good in the defensive zone. He's just more of a defensive, stay-at-home defenseman. He's listed at 6'2". So again, it adds a bigger body there for the Flyers. 6'2", 205. He's 31 years old. So again, as I said, it adds a bigger body for the Flyers, and it's definitely a replacement there for Nick Seeler, who hasn't looked great, but hasn't necessarily looked good either. I personally kind of thought for a while there the Flyers should have maybe called up somebody from the AHL. I was thinking Zamola, and I was thinking about this, games ago, and it would have been nice if maybe one of those guys were tested out. It's actually funny because I was just talking to Jamie Bascal, and we were about to say, that the Flyers could use one of their guys like Zamola, because, particularly, Sealer and Yandel didn't necessarily look great last night, and not saying not many of the other guys didn't, but, you get my point. So, as of that, I wouldn't be surprised if Connauton plays coming up soon, and, it's good for the Flyers to at least add another physical presence on the back end, and I guess they were just starting to realize that Sealer isn't necessarily and really that much of an NHL defenseman anymore. I personally, again, it's nothing against Sealer as a person or anything like that. I just didn't necessarily think his game was that ready, especially to play top pair minutes with Provorov. I mean, that was just insane. This is also a tweet here from NHL Watcher. This is Freeman on a podcast talking about the Flyers' possible head coaching candidates. He said, I think some other names you're potentially going to hear are Tocchet, Tortorella. Those are obviously two names we've heard. Jim Montgomery, who coached with Dallas. Travis Green, David Quinn. I think those are some of the names that are kind of circulating around. And then he also said, I had to think, knowing Fletcher's history with Boudreau, that he was at least on the radar. That's off the list now, obviously, because Boudreau was hired by Vancouver. So those are some things to look out for. But the Flyers pick up Connauton. I think it's a pretty solid pickup. And yeah, I mean, overall, played last year with Keith Yandel with the Panthers. He's only played 20 games in the last 2 years, 24 in the last 3, but could be very serviceable, and we'll see what happens. And definitely more of a defensive style guy, and obviously the Flyers are looking for a little bit of an upgrade there on the back end, so we'll see what happens. But let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember, guys, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. Remember to check out Garrett Group Construction and Butt Ends, and you can use code PHI for 10% off your deal at buttends.com. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all again soon.